When you reach your 60s, something unexpected begins to happen. Many of the things that once felt incredibly important suddenly lose their power over you. The pressure to impress others, the constant race to achieve more, the worries that once kept you awake at night. Slowly, they begin to fade, and in their place comes something much more valuable: clarity. Looking back now, there are several things I once believed mattered deeply, but after 60, I realized they truly don't. If you're in your 50s right now, you may already feel the beginning of this change. Life starts to look a little different. The things that once seemed urgent don't feel quite as important anymore, and you begin asking deeper questions. What truly matters? What was never really important in the first place? Age has a quiet way of teaching us lessons that no one ever told us when we were younger. Today, I want to share 7 things that many people slowly realize no longer matter after the age of 60. And the last one may be the most powerful realization of all. The first thing that begins to lose its importance after 60 is other people's opinions. When we're younger, we spend so much time worrying about what others think, how we look, how successful we appear, whether people approve of our choices. But with age, something changes. You begin to realize something simple and freeing. Most people are too busy worrying about their own lives to judge yours. After 60, you stop living to impress others, and instead, you begin living in a way that feels true to yourself. The second thing that slowly stops mattering is the need to constantly prove yourself. For many years, we try to show the world our worth through work, through achievements, through success. But after decades of life experience, something becomes clear. You don't need to prove your value anymore. Your life already tells the story. The effort you made, the people you helped, the challenges you overcame. After 60, the need for approval quietly fades away. Another thing that loses its importance after 60 is comparing your life to others. When we are younger, comparison is everywhere. Careers, money, success. But over time, you begin to see something clearly. Every life follows a completely different path, different opportunities, different struggles. After 60, you realize life was never meant to be a competition. It was meant to be experienced. The fourth thing that becomes far less important after 60 is material status. When we're younger, it's easy to believe success must look impressive. A bigger house, a nicer car, more possessions. But over time, something interesting happens. You begin to notice that many of the happiest people you know live surprisingly simple lives. Peace begins to matter far more than possessions. Aging has a quiet way of changing your perspective. Life stops feeling like a race. The pressure slowly fades, and suddenly you begin noticing the small moments you once rushed past. A quiet morning, a walk in the park, a simple conversation with someone you love. These moments begin to feel incredibly valuable. Another thing that slowly loses its power after 60 is holding on to old regrets. Everyone carries regrets, mistakes we made, chances we didn't take. But eventually you realize something deeply important. Regret cannot change the past. Holding on to it only steals peace from today. Many people finally learn to forgive themselves. And when they do, life becomes lighter. The sixth thing that stops mattering so much after 60 is trying to control everything. When we're younger, we believe careful planning can control life. But life has a way of reminding us otherwise. Unexpected things happen. Circumstances change. People change. Peace doesn't come from control. It comes from acceptance. Perhaps the most important thing that stops mattering after 60 is the constant rush. For much of our lives, we are always hurrying to work, hurrying to achieve, hurrying toward the next goal. But eventually, you realize something simple. Life was never meant to be rushed. The most meaningful moments were always the quiet ones. Looking back now, these lessons took a lifetime to understand. But if you are in your 50s or 60s today, you still have something incredibly valuable: time. Time to let go of unnecessary worries. Time to focus on what truly matters. And time to live with more peace and appreciation for the life you have. If these reflections resonated with you, consider subscribing to Daily Wisdom After 60. Here we share simple lessons about health, aging, and the wisdom that life slowly teaches us. And if this message touched your heart today, share it with someone who might need to hear it.